conditioner would shut off. Too noisy. Hi, you guys. I'm going to step back in the laundry room. Bob's asleep. I hope we're not pixeling. Let me see if I can get the air conditioner to shut off. Well, that's better. It'll take another second for the fan to kick off. How are you guys doing? Ooh, I need to fix that. I tried to set up, I didn't. Hi, Tracy Hogan. Hi, Marie Duffy. Hi, Pink Bow Birdo. Hi, Rhonda. I tried to set up just for funsies experimenting. Hi, Blue Eyes Dumpling. You had to work late. This is way late for me, isn't it? Hi, The Walking Dead. I'm doing great, thank you. Haven't been out of the shower for long. Hi, Diana Lynn. Guys, I really don't have anything going on. There, it finally shut off. Okay, in all honesty, what's going on is I purposefully stayed up later than normal. And I set up and started a members only live just as to see if I knew how to do it or could figure out how to do it. And I did figure out to do it. And I had it running live for like 5 minutes and then the members showed up. So I turned it off and deleted it. But here you guys are. She ran calling wildfire. Obviously, because it's late, I'm trying to be considerate of Bob. We can go out on the front porch for a few minutes. I mean, since I was awake anyway, I don't have anything going on. What are you guys doing? I can mukbang. And I usually The Walking Dead. Diana Lynn. Welcome to Darlin. Diana Lynn, I think you're the first upper tier member. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, this is way late for me. What time is it? Like, I don't have a clock back here anymore. I think it's like 11 p.m. Tracy, honey, I haven't been keeping up with world news. I've been not, and welcome, Diana Lynn. Y'all try to ignore the hissing. The ninja kittens are being extra frisky uh, and ornery. It's almost 12 for you kids are. Okay. Hi, Bam Bam. Cats. Anyway, my hair's still wet and up in a knot and all that. Uh, I'm not like restless or anything like that. Um, just chatting for a moment, and then I'd like to have a cigarette. I'm so excited that we have my first member to the Darlin. I'm going to have to come up with some kind of a little jingle or something to sing to you. But anyway, you kids, some of you kids are probably in the Eastern time zone, and obviously in Arkansas, I'm Central. So I really don't have anything for you other than what I was explaining. With Rags, the rescued dog, that I don't talk about a whole lot over here, but you guys are aware of. Okay. Like many of you in the same area of the United States, here in our part of Arkansas, we've been having quite the heat wave. So I've changed her schedule so that she gets an evening walk at dusk when it's cooled off, uh, when the little Victory vegetable garden with the first tomato. Today, actually, I got two. I got two tomatoes. Actually, we did. Ate one of them, the one I made the short of. Thank you to those of you that watched it. Um, anyway, there's a certain time right at dusk that, and I have a point here, at dusk that I have the water mist on the little vegetable garden. And I've got a lawn chair back there. And you're in Indiana, Walking Dead. Oh, yeah, cool. Oh, She Ran Calling Wildfire is as well. So that's a good time because of the later summer. I started to say more hours in the day. No, there isn't more hours in the day. More hours of light, sunlight. And with the heat wave, I'm staying up a bit later because I'm doing things a little later. Hi, Semi Spiro, in order to help Rag still get the exercise and do her business and have social time. And it's not quite as hot. And she likes the water. She's got a little swimming pool, a little kiddie pool. And she likes to, like dogs do, she likes to chomp on the water when, okay. So that's another reason. During summer, it's not unusual that my hours shift a little bit later because of daylight. However, they've definitely changed. This is my first summer to ever have a rescue dog. And Rags is still a puppy, although she's as big as I am. So, and because I had set up the live stream just funning around, because I've never ever done a members only live stream. Now, that isn't true. On my other channel, the Cat Rescue channel, before we lost little old man, Owen, and this this was his habitat. Before the FIV, which is like HIV, but it's feline. There's no treatment or cure or anything. Anyway, before he got really, before he passed away, he was having a really, really, really bad night. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I didn't want to wake Bob up. He had to go to work. And I went live, members only, um, to have folks to hang around with during a tough time. And little old man did indeed cross the Rainbow Bridge not too many days after that. So I almost lied to you, but I didn't mean to. I actually, and I think I may have even privated it because I was quite distressed. Sammy Sparrow, you're a baby doll. Welcome. Now, Sammy, I haven't quite developed the full description for the darlings. Because after all, here on Lip Lock No More, we all began as baby dolls and shall continue as so. And from the beginning, even, in the beginning. Thank you, Walking Dead. I'm better now. I think that's the first time I've talked about him and not cried. Or at least kind of, but because we've had another loss since then. And I think I've only been live on the other channel once since Baby Dumpling passed away in Bob's arms several weeks ago. But anyway, Sammy Sparrow, on a lighthearted note, on a late night special live. Y'all are like, what's so damn special about it? I'm fucking live and it's late. Okay, so Sammy Sparrow. In case you weren't around in the very beginning of the channel, when I made a special video telling everybody exactly what a baby doll is. I did, when I monetized the other day, remind everyone. So this goes for the darlings now only. Hi, KC Farms. Hi, Bonderloo. This goes for the darlings, the upper tier, for now. It's the same description, only like Uber. I don't mean Uber like a fucking taxi. I don't know why you guys call Uber means super in my vocabulary. The first time I heard somebody call a taxi, isn't an Uber a taxi? Never mind. So if you become a member here, here's what happens. Your trusty cult leader pretends to issue to you, so long as you voluntarily choose to remain a member of the cult. The things that make you a baby doll. Now you notice I said the things. That's because you already have the tenacity, the veracity, the audacity, and That's all the cities I can think of right now. But you already have all that. Um, attitude. But a baby doll, for those who don't know, is a combination of the characteristics of Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. Those who aren't familiar with Harley Quinn, she's a member of the Suicide Squad. She was also the Joker's girlfriend, I think. All of that aside, well, none aside, nonetheless, I, as your fearless leader, will pretend to issue to you officially a rope that will enable you to render any and all incapable of lying. Bracelets able to ward off the fastest moving word bullets. A cloaking device. It's an invisible airplane. Enables you to travel around the world in a split second on the internet. As in, when I click go live, you get a notification and you go, oh yeah, I want to see that. Okay, that's your Wonder Woman stuff. Now, on your Harley Quinn side, I will issue you a Louisville Slugger, emblazoned with your name, your username, of course, to be used in emergency situations only. I will also issue you the official, rather unusual vegetable hair dye colors. Comes in a kit. And stage makeup. Making sure I don't leave anything out. Um, oh, that part of your utility shit that you just fucking carry around because you're a cult member over here, being a baby doll or an Uber baby doll known as a darling. Um, you get Daisy Duke cutoffs. About that much of your ass cheeks is going to hang out. Just a little, just enough to be cute, not enough to like be like nasty or gross. And fishnet stockings, along with a sparkly tube top. Color of your choice, of course. And on the front, oh, I just heard the toilet flush. I hope I didn't wake Bob up describing your kit. But when he hears me talking this time of night and I'm in the back of the house in the laundry room, which we are, he's like, oh, on your sparkly tube top color of your choice. And it doesn't have to match your skin tone. It's nice if it does. Like, for example, blue and gray are not particularly my colors. Oh, I just pinched my finger in the thing. Nonetheless, I recommend picking a hue that will accentuate your skin tone, hair color, etc., etc., etc. But all tube tops will say the same thing. Well, they won't say anything. You won't have talking tube tops. That's not what I mean. Don't go there. What does she mean? The tube top will say what? Like we're going to get talking tube tops? No. It will be emblazoned with on the front. And this goes for the guys too. Okay. So if you're a guy out there, if you become a baby doll or a darling, it comes with the territory. So suck it up, buttercup. It will read in script handwriting. You know, the kind they don't teach anymore. So before long, there won't be people left that can read it. And that means they'll walk up to you because they can't fucking read it. And they'll say, what does that say? And you can say, it doesn't say anything. We weren't issued talking tube tops. But it reads, don't hate me because you think I'm beautiful. On the back of your tube top. And this is regardless of your you know what orientation. Got to be careful now that I'm monetized. You know, if you're bi like me, whatever, if you catch my meaning, if you get my drift, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, okay? So if you have a significant female or a significant male and you are of the same orientation, or if, like myself, you're only half gay, it doesn't matter. It applies across the board to all. The back of your tube top will be emblazoned with, of course, in script handwriting that no motherfucker will be able to read. Remembering that the front says, don't hate me because you think I'm beautiful. The back will read, hate me because the person you sleep with thinks I'm beautiful. It is all empowering, all encompassing accoutrement designed by moi. Granted, I was stoned when I did it, but there's no need to rub my face in that. But it occurred to me after all of that, Sammy Sparrow and Diana Lynn, that I would have to provide fucking trunks for you guys to carry this shit around in. Okay? Relatively small. It'll be it's not heavy. The heaviest thing in there is the motherfucking Louisville Slugger. If you don't know what a Louisville slugger is, Google it. Okay, so now that Diana Lynn and Sammy Sparrow and all the rest of you babies, hi Jim 420, have been properly, what's that called? Orientation. On the corporate level, we called that orientation. So you have just had your official new member orientation. Now, Diana Lynn, as a darling, and the first, and at this time, I believe, only darling, may be given extra responsibilities. Um, that may or may not include, and may or may not be limited to, but not exceeded by, any wacky ass bullshit that I come up with to waste her time when she clicks the button and comes over to watch. I think that's about all the ad lib I got. My hair's coming, my hair's coming down. So I hope you babies are prepared, new members. Actually, at this point, all members are new members. Carrie Bishop was first, just like on the other channel. Not surprisingly. So Harley Quinn would have a backpack Vonderloo. Yes. See, I was thinking of that one time, like when the entire Suicide Squad, like they're all walking down the street and it's dark, but there's street lights and it's like the pavement's black, but it's damp. And, or maybe it was the trunk of a car she opened. It is Harley Quinn we're talking about. But I agree. Yes. Backpack. Okay. Okay, back to the drawing board. Everything is exactly the way I said. No variation. Because I'm a motherfucking cult leader. I don't allow you, you can't even paraphrase what I just said. You have to, if you're asked, you have to repeat it exactly the way I just said it. Any variation, even in tone or inflection, articulation, diction, enunciation, any of that shit. Well, I don't know what will happen. Probably nothing, but Kitty, what are you doing? And y'all, no, I don't put any hair color on. This is not a, what do you guys call it? What's it called? Like we used to do back in the 80s when they put the tin foil in your hair and did the thing, weave, but not weave like tresses woven in. Like I've always had this. This is my Bonnie Raitt thing. I've always had this one. Okay, really, but look how dark. The underneath part of the back of my hair is dark. Anyway, how long have we been on here? Almost 30 minutes. I'm shucking and jiving, that's for sure. So, pink and blue ponytails, that's right, Vonderloo. Frosted, yeah, Tracy, frosted. So, everything in your accoutrement is, as I said, except nicks on the trunk. Hi, Debbie. Forget No trunk. It's going to be a backpack, but I have to go back to the drawing board, the mental drawing board, since it's all pretend, and come up with a backpack. The thing is, it's going to cover up what the back of your tube top says. Unless you walk around with it just flung over one shoulder. What about like a man purse that a baseball bat will fit in? A normal sized Louisville Slugger. Not aluminum, wood. Autographed personally by Babe Ruth. Okay, I was lying. It's not. Fuck. I'm a cult leader. I'm allowed to fucking lie. Get over it. Plus, it's Saturday night. Unless it's after midnight, in which case it's Sunday morning. Unless you're in the southern hemisphere, and then it's Sunday evening. Yeah. It's tomorrow. I brought this up several times today. A Balance took exception to my comment as I was modding his live chat. I was sacrificing my time. And, you know, sometimes I still get in troll mode. I can't help it. I'm a Scorpio. And I have a Sagittarius moon. I tend to wander. I put like in his fucking chat. Whatever it was I put in there, I don't remember now because I've been stoned since then. But it was relative to whatever I was saying before I lost my train of thought. Don't worry about it. It happens when you're old. I put it in his chat and I put it in several others. What was I talking about? Debbie, sweetheart, if you go to, I don't know, I guess it's called my homepage on here. And thank you for joining us. I didn't think that I recognized your username, but you're welcome here. The channel, obviously, is called Lip Locked No More. More often than not, these days, I'm just cutting up. For the first couple of years, actually 2.5 years, this channel was focused on very, very serious matters. That's why I named my persona here and the channel Lip Locked No More. Been quiet too long. Gotta speak up. A lot of it, no, that's not right. A bit of it was personal experience. But my topics, generally speaking, were missing children, and there, I don't know how familiar you are with the acronyms that are used for different things on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't like for us to say certain things like child sexual abuse. Forced rape, child sexual abuse. domestic violence, child murder, child neglect. But I found that YouTube and most of, if I may beg your pardon, and before saying what I'm about to say, new viewer, hi. My name is Susan Brewer. I live in Heber Springs, Arkansas. I doxed myself a long time ago because there are motherfuckers on YouTube who get pleasure out of doxing people. And sweetheart, during the time that those were my focus, those topics, we delved in to things like child sex trafficking, university studies, Vanderbilt, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, things that found their beginning in my interest in a little missing girl whose name is Summer Wells. I don't know if you've heard of her. But what happens here is this platform is absolutely chock full of some of the most low-life pieces of shit motherfuckers I have ever encountered in 73 and a half years of living and breathing on the face of this earth. And they are here for no other reason than to keep serious-minded folks such as myself discouraged, disheartened, dismayed, disgruntled, and pissed the fuck off. So, about a year ago, I informed my viewers and subscribers because until 3 days ago, this channel has not been monetized. Because I take issue with people making money off of the tragedies and misfortune of others. So when I talk about those topics, which I still do and will from time to time, making money just kind of made me feel like I needed a shower. So I didn't. But about a year ago, I realized that I was slamming my 128 IQ brain up against a motherfucking brick wall of an entire generation of motherfuckers that have never lived without the digital age. Or if they did, they're the bad apples that ruin it for everybody else who have good intentions. So back to, for the third or fourth time, about a year ago, I let my audience and subscribers know that this channel was going to take a shift. So if you look on what, I'm not sure what it's called, but back to that, it's called a homepage, I guess. Underneath the channel name, Lip Locked No More, because I am Lip Locked No More. Try to shut me up. I wish a motherfucker would. That change of lane. I'm a long gamer, so I don't have knee-jerk reactions. Rarely. I can't say never. Oh, I can say never. I just fucking said never. But it does not apply. Because it's my fucking channel and I can do what I want with it, began laying out the groundwork to make that slow, easy shift over into what God Himself and the myriad of angels and the Lord Jesus Christ, because I went from being an agnostic atheist after escaping a religious cult after 8 years. I came out of that into being an agnostic atheist. There's a slash in there somewhere. And then something really weird happened. I found the Lord again, and He didn't like a lot of what I was doing. I say He, that's what people are comfortable with. Nonetheless, long story made longer. Why not? I rewrote my mission statement, and then when I was ready, about a year ago, about 9 months ago, somewhere in there, the description beneath the name of this channel on its homepage changed. So, baby, this is the answer to your question. And I'm an old great grandma. I'm 73. I think I mentioned that. So, we old granny maws, especially here in the hills and hollers of the Arkansas Ozarks, tend to be a bit long-winded, especially based on my career background. This channel is a commentary, criticism, critique, opinion, and what the fuck ever I want to talk about channel. And then I slowly began allowing, through a poll on my community tab, I asked the viewers, because I had said from the beginning, the very first time I spoke about serious matters here, I made the commitment to about, at the time, 125 viewers that I would never monetize this channel. But you see, I was talking about the things that I was mentioning already there. And then the motherfuckers and the trolls and the tinfoil hat wearing motherfuckers, uh, the failures to launch, um, flying monkeys, minions, and scuzzball lowlife channels, who, if I may borrow a phrase from a scene in a movie called Ready Player One, I'm of the very strong opinion that the majority of the keyboard warriors, who, if they do upload, hide behind avatars, emphasis on the verb, hide, along with a few like, oh, I don't know, a bitch named Jody Sue Brown. What would a live stream be without mentioning her name? They ruin it for people like me. So that's what the channel is about. I am a very nice old lady who cusses a lot. I'm lip lock no more, so I talk a lot and I say pretty much whatever I want to within terms of service and community guidelines, as I am bound by the legal contract I signed with the platform and an app called YouTube. So, when you got pricks and cunts, cocksuckers, motherfuckers, uh, and back to the line I was going to borrow from Ready Player One. It's actually more than one line. I am firmly convinced that the majority of those pricks, cunts, cocksuckers, motherfuckers, and those who flop their tits are really named Clyde, and they live in their mama's basement in Detroit. Like a hoarder kind of person. With nothing better to do than waste other people's time by fucking the fuck around. So I decided, after 7 decades of being a professional bullshitter, I would motherfucking start making money at it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So far, so good. Thank you. There's my darling baby. It was okay. I was talking about Jody Sue Brown. Justin, have you heard my story? I've told it a number of times, but I get so much pleasure out of it. Justin, I love you too. Stop. Baby, don't now. You've got travel expense and all kinds of stuff. I love you too, Sammy. I'm finally looking back down. Justin, there were 2 nights in a row that, hi, Ange. Ange, it's late. It's a Saturday night, late night, probably Sunday morning now. From the laundry room. It's a special high tier broadcast. Justin, do you know about the titties? Jody Sue's titties, her boobs. I don't. Okay, I know you know about. Okay, that didn't come out exactly the way I intended it to. Okay, hi Kathy Gordon. So, Justin, do you know about Jody Sue's boobs? Several nights ago. Did you see them? I made my husband look at them. Justin, stop sending out the hearts and being all schmoozy and warm and fuzzy. Answer my fucking question. Do you know oh, you can't sat that you do? I have to be quiet. Bob's asleep. I won't be after. I'm done. Yeah, I haven't watched anything from her for, I think, 4 days. I'm done. Oh, whatever. What are you going to blame it on? Spell check, autocorrect, 3 years same push-up bra. Okay, it would appear from the psychological standpoint, as well as the manipulative standpoint, that from time to time, Ms. Brown is going to be, we're getting cleavage. And Justin, as you know, and most of you, if you don't know, you haven't been listening or paying attention, or maybe you're new. And so, you may or may not know, but I'm sure Justin does, that I'm bisexual. Now, I'm monogamous and I've been married for 25 years to the same man. Okay. But uh, so there are some of us out here, other than fellows, who might be slightly manipulated to watch for no other reason than then we hope that there will be a failure of the wholesome from flopping. Like where you're sitting there looking and you can't take your eyes off of it, and you're like, I just want to just lean over a little bit further, because if you do, it's going to come right out. And then you'll and there and it'll be what it is, whatever it is, that's what it'll be. Well, it didn't happen. But the second night that it happened, or I was hoping it was going to happen, but it didn't happen. Um, okay, Justin, here's what I did. I took this phone that I'm using right now for this live stream, and I had her pulled up on my screen, and I shoved my phone in my husband's face, and I said, "Look at them." And he said, "No." And I said, "Look at them." And he's like, "Mm." And then he opened his eyes, and then he screamed, and he declared that his retinas had been seared off. And I said, "Bob, you're so full of shit." I said, "Listen, if we were at the clubhouse, the biker clubhouse, or at a biker bar, or a gentleman's club, you would tuck $5 at least minimum to see it come out of there. You know you would." He denied it. I called it, I said, and you know what? What I did then? I made him look at it a second time. He was blind for 3 days. It was like Saul to Paul. Took him 3 days to get his sight back. So that's what that's all about. How long we been on here? Guys, we've been on almost an hour. What are you guys doing? Okay, let's do this. Let's shift this a little bit. Y'all are awfully damn nosy, coming in here asking me what I'm doing up at this hour. There's only one of me. There's a whole crowd of you. What the fuck are you doing up at this hour? All of you. I'll wait. See, Sammy Sparrow has already activated her pretend accoutrement. Now, see, some of us like Kathy Gordon and Diana Lynn, hi, Wandering Hearts. Let's see, Kathy and Diana, you took a 3-hour nap earlier. I take a siesta. I do an afternoon nap. But I don't think I took one today. Yeah, I don't think I took one today. Fess up. Patty Barnett, you're eating. Is that right? All right, Patty. We'll just see about that. We'll probably pixel out. I don't know. This late at night, maybe it's not so hot. And maybe, I don't know. We usually pixel out in here. Oh, I Miss Justice. Oh, your phone died. Oh my gosh. Justin, I'm not telling the story again, Justin. You're just going to have to rewatch. If you want the boob story, you're just going to have to rewatch. Here's what's fixing to happen, though. You get down from there. Get down. No kitties on the counter. Thank you. I'll show you Patty Barnett. Holy shit. Spotlight bands. I'm a hot mom. Patty Barnett coming up in here thinking she's all that because she's eating strawberry pound cake. And y'all don't get rowdy because Bob's asleep. I mean it. Don't start acting up. All hell's gonna break loose. Patty. This is called mukbanging. No kidding. Patty. These are brownies with chocolate chips, and I didn't even have to make them. They were delivered by Pizza Hut. And they don't even sponsor me. But you guys know that these are homemade because you were here for the live stream when I made them. Now, that's all that's left because I gave a whole bunch to my pudding pop buddy. My pudding. Mohawk Mom, what did you call him? My pudding pop pal? The little boy. Of course, these are for cult members only. If you're not in my cult, you don't get any Rice Krispie treats. But the thing is, the mere fact that you're watching me right now means you're already in the cult and you didn't know it. That's how cults work. If you knew you were in a cult, you wouldn't be in it. You'd be like me on a Sunday. You'd walk into your husband where he's sitting in the living room in his easy chair. He's reading the Sunday morning paper. Hi, Queen Firefly. Welcome to Baby Doll. And he's reading the Sunday paper. This is for realsies. I don't know what's making that kitty meow. It's unusual. I may have to go check. Okay. And you're green. Let me go check on that cat so it'll stop meowing. they're not used to me being up this late. And they're like, shouldn't you be in bed? I'm like, yeah. And that's where we're getting close to. I'm glad you're here, Queen Firefly. Thank you, not only for being here, but for joining. So, bananas, get out of here. Don't tell Bob. Bob will go bananas over anything that's bananas. And don't bring up peanut butter either. So anyway, that's all I got. Mohawk, I'm not doing it. Anyway, I hope that Patty Barnett feels suitably sanctioned for eating strawberry pound cake and announcing it. And then Patty Barnett will be like, well, you asked what we were doing. So anyway, I want a cigarette. And I have to sing you out. Don't you love the shifting light? And I move like from one light to another and all my wrinkles pop out. Yeah. Crepe skin. Speaking of crepe skin, oh my God, you guys. For reals. That's what I was talking about. If you're in the audience, you're already in the cult and you don't know it because it doesn't work if you know you're in the cult. Okay. Because here's what happens. Sunday morning, husband's in the easy chair. Then I'll get back to the crepe skin thing. Husband is in the easy chair. He's reading the Sunday morning Arkansas Democrat Gazette. And I'm still in the cult, this religious cult that is commonly referred to as Jehovah's Witnesses. And there's this lockdown thing going on. So they shut down all the Kingdom Halls. And they made you get this thing called Zoom. They fucking made you get it. They didn't make you get it. They made me get it. Okay. They made us, them. I'm not one now. Okay. I had never had, I didn't have the internet at all. No Wi-Fi, no TV. Had TV, but only watched Blu-rays and DVDs. Had a cell phone. I'd probably had a cell phone. My mom bought me my first cell phone because I was on the road singing all the time and she didn't like me driving, not having a cell phone. Because I was drug into the digital age, kicking and fucking screaming. Anyway, I'm glad to have it now, or I couldn't be here doing this, could I? So, I want to say it was May of 2020. It was lockdown. They made us get Zoom, and that meant I had to have like a real cell phone, like this one. That meant I had to buy. Hi, Heather Lynn. Just Dane. Heather Lynn, baby. Okay. I wasn't blowing you off. I was being a smart ass. Heather Lynn, I'm running live up this late because I monetized this channel 3 days ago, and I'm going to milk this motherfucker for all it's worth. If the sons of bitches, cocksuckers, motherfuckers, pricks, and cunts of YouTube don't want me talking about the things that I used to talk about, then I'll come on here and talk about them and make money while I'm doing it. And I'll do it anytime I think I can suck a buck out of somebody's wallet. That's why. So I'm trying to make it somewhat entertaining. Right now, we're going to go smoke. It's going to be dark. So anyway, while I'm smoking, I'll finish the very short escape from the religious cult story, which is actually can be made into a very long story, but you know, I love you too, Heather Lynn. As one of my idols at Midler used to say, joke 'em if they can't take a fuck. All right, guys, give me a second to get situated here. And when I get the warning on the battery, ooh, I hear some sirens popping off. Hang on. I don't want you to fall, and I'm trying to set you on a table on the front porch and not lose my footing and stuff. I'm glad you like it, Walking Dead. Okay, now I know you guys can't see me, but I believe you can see the reflection of my glasses. There are headlights up the road, and I did just hear one of those whoop siren kind of things happen, and it is late. So if I suddenly quit talking, it means something has happened, or I ran out of battery. All right, so I had to get a tablet, had to get a cell phone, required to, or else, you were disciplined or whatever, or would have been, blah, blah, blah. So we, those of us who were being dominated by the board known as the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of New York and Pennsylvania, were required to equip ourselves and download the Zoom app and learn how to use it, etc., and also required, after a little while, I realized, to have the phone and the the camera on and the microphone unmuted. And a couple of meetings into that, I was like, well, here's the thing. I can walk around and accomplish some things while I'm listening. It's hard to tell the story without the long version that I've told, because something was happening right before the lockdown in the particular congregation I was in. The most prolific CSAer in Jehovah's Witness history was an elder in my congregation. Now, I never got sucked in hard enough that I ever gave up myself. I did what I was required to do, supposed to do, reported what I was supposed to report, recorded what I was supposed to record, professed to believe what I was supposed to profess to believe, but there was always something that just didn't feel right, and part of that were the four elements that actually render one aware, if they become aware of it, that they are in a cult. It's called the bite model. It was developed by Stephen Hassan. B-I-T-E. B, behavior control. I, information control. T, thought control. E, emotional control. And I'm not much of one to have a bit in my mouth or a rein, but I am one that's willing to conform if my best friend is there and people I love are there. Knowing that the very slightest violation can render one what's called disfellowship. Or put under disciplinary action and made to sit in the back room. Of course, if you were a female and you were assaulted, that's another story. If you were a child and you were assaulted, that was quite another story. It's called Blue Envelopes, by the way. The cover of this done by the Jehovah's Witness organization on a motherfucking rampant industrial level. Anyway, that trial was really hard. The children that I loved that had been harmed by this man, who's now serving 80 years in the Arkansas State Penitentiary, thanks to a jury. Anyway, that had been going on the autumn before. And during that trial, I met a man from Baltimore. He's a freelance reporter. Wrote for The Atlantic. His wife wrote for The Atlantic. And he was involved in the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, but I didn't know that when I met him at the trial. I thought he was just an independent freelance reporter. Until a lunch break, when I, in my lip lock no more kind of way, walked up to a total stranger, as I am wont to do, with my utter curiosity, and I made the inquiry, "Who are you?" I said. He told me he's been a guest since then on this channel. He and a couple of other fellows and I stood there talking, and then I suffered all the ramifications of that, not knowing he was an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I got called on the carpet big time for that one. That's another story. Anyway, when a ministerial servant who is a step under an elder in the Borg walked by me while I was speaking to these three gentlemen and grasped me firmly by the elbow and spun me halfway around and asked me what I thought I was doing in front of a public courthouse in Cleveland County, Arkansas, surrounded by not only almost the entire congregation, but also other, I don't know, public officials. Thank you, Heather Lynn, for becoming a baby doll. Law enforcement officers, and that he said to me in a rather loud voice, "Don't be speaking to apostates." And I gave him the dagger glance. If you're a female motherfucking Jehovah's Witness, you don't give no fella, even if he's 3 years old, a fucking dagger glance. Phone started ringing, text started going off. And after I came home for lunch and I went back into the courthouse to watch little children take the stand and testify against the man who had been abusing them in an actual way. Some, one in particular, for more than a decade. Faced this motherfucker that had pled not guilty. Little children testifying before a jury and a courtroom full in a criminal trial. Mothers sobbing, grandmothers sobbing, grandpas sobbing, friends sobbing. At one point, the judge had to halt the trial because one of the young ladies, now a teenager, was so emotionally distraught that the judge felt he needed to dismiss the jury from the courtroom to give her time to recover her composure well enough to finish her story under oath. There were 5 children that testified. There were other children who did not. Thank you, Esther, for your £4.99. Anyway, before I left the courthouse grounds that day, I gave my phone number to the man who had been referred to as the apostate. Mark, my friend. His wife, Kim, my friend. They live in Baltimore, and they too are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. We are ex-cult members, along with hundreds of thousands of others who've been used, abused, through behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. So to end the story, leaving out an awful lot. On a particular Sunday morning, I didn't feel like turning my camera on. And by that, I don't mean mood. I have multiple sclerosis, remitting, relapsing. I'm old as well. And even though they were Zoom meetings, we were required to dress as if we were going to the Kingdom Hall. For me, that meant makeup, hair, jewelry, and a nice outfit to be propped up in my daybed, barely conscious. So I didn't turn my camera on. And I was already in a state of mind where I was like, this is fucking bullshit. This whole fucking deal is fucking bullshit. What the fuck? How did this happen to me? How the fuck did this happen to me? And the elder, who was the dude that was making sure everybody had their camera and their mic on, put a thing that came up on my screen that said, Sister Brewer, turn on your camera. And I saw that, and it went all over me as if you had, I can't describe the feeling I had. Absolute, complete rebellion overwhelmed me. Because you see, I had been in frequent and meaningful, continuous communication with Mark and Kim in Baltimore, as well as my new friend Lloyd Evans from Manchester, England, who now lives in Croatia, whose channel I was interviewed on about this matter, which interview on his channel on YouTube, the Lloyd Evans channel, the last time I looked, had more than 37,000 views. So in that rebellious state of mind, I exited the Zoom meeting. I got up out of the day bed. I walked slowly because I was in relapse. Because the motherfuckers had worn me down to almost nothing. And there sat my husband, Bob, in his easy chair reading a Sunday morning Arkansas Democrat Gazette. And I looked at him and I said, oh my God, Bob, I am in a motherfucking cult. And my husband looked at me over the top rim of his eyeglasses and he said, yes, sweetheart, I know you are. Now what do you want to do about it? I wrote what's called a letter of disassociation. I shared the 13 bullet points that I thought were the most important from the in-depth research I had done about how they're a doomsday cult and all the motherfucking, what fucking liars they are. And I reminded them that I know about their secret database of all the abusers at headquarters in New York at the Watchtower headquarters, and I reminded them, and by them I mean the entire congregation, because you see, generally what happens is you physically write a letter to the coordinator of the body of elders, COBE, known as the COBE, and you tell him that you wish to disassociate. And then you're hounded, you're stalked, you're harassed and bullied for months on end, because all they do at the next meeting is get up on the dais, take the platform and the microphone, and they say, Susan Brewer is no longer a Jehovah's Witness. You're an apostate and you're shunned from that moment on. No explanation whatsoever is given. So here's what I did, because I'm a smart motherfucker. And it's pretty hard to get one over on me. Not impossible, but difficult. I wrote a text, because you see, I had the mobile phone number of every single person, including children, that I did not send it to. But I did send it to the teenagers. All right? July the 1st, 2020, noon. Pre-scheduled mass text to almost 200 people all at the same time, so that every single person in that cult, in this congregation, would know exactly why I was leaving. And they would also, without having choice, read the 13 major lies that they were living under. I believe in a thing called receipts. I just don't sit my fucking ass up on YouTube for hours on end bragging about it, if you catch my meaning. So, yeah. So I'm what's called an apostate. And I'm shunned by worldwide by Jehovah's Witnesses. And if they speak to me and they get caught, they'll be apostates too, just like me. So that's about it on that level. So now I'm a YouTube cult leader with memberships headed in. If you're still here, love, I'm getting tired. But I'm going to sit here and finish the cigarette. Listen to the crickets, cicadas, tree frogs, toads. And think about Summer Wells. Who went missing on the 15th of June, 2021, at the age of 5. She has blonde hair and blue eyes, and an active Amber Alert. She was last reported wearing gray pants, a pink shirt, most likely barefooted. No officially reported scars or birthmarks. It's reported by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation Public Information Officer that Summer Wells disappeared sometime in the early afternoon hours of June the 15th, 2021. At 6:23 and 6:26 p.m., Two 911 calls were made by family members, reportedly. At 7:03 p.m., law enforcement began to arrive. And Summer Rose has not been seen nor heard of again. Her birth date is February the 4th, 2016, meaning that if Summer Moon Utah Wells is still alive, she's 8 years old now. She has an official page. You can see it if you go to TBI Newsroom on the web. Everything you need to know is right there. Or everything they want us to know is right there. So, if you or anybody you know or know of has any credible information whatsoever, credible being the operative word, please by all means call 1-800-TBI. Darlings, it is the tradition here on Live Love No More that I sing my audience out. I don't like to leave you on a melancholy note, but I believe I'm about ready to go to bed. So, just a partial. Where are you going, my little one, little one? Where are you going, my baby, my love? Turn around and you breathe. Turn around and you're full. Turn around and you're a young girl going out of the door. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around and you're a young girl going out of the door. Babies, please continue to put into practice being kind one to another. Always remembering it's not going to hurt you one single bit It's not going to cost you one thin dime. And it's going to come back to you tenfold when you expected the least but you needed the most. Go with God's good grace. Rest well. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry if I missed you in chat. I'll see you babies on the flip-flop.